Hey, good morning to you. Happy Monday. Awesome. I love Mondays. I hope you do as well. Welcome to another episode of the Daily Dose. Oh, I love Mondays. Mondays are, I don't know, I say this, I think every single Monday, but I feel like this Monday is going to be the best Monday ever. I just feel it, and you know where it starts? It starts right up here. It starts with a thought. So you want to know how you're one thought away from having your best week ever. Here's what you do. You got to wake up with the right thought, the positive thoughts. Now, I don't know how your week went. So I don't know how last week went. I don't know how your weekend went. Maybe you struggled. Maybe you are disappointed. Maybe you've made some bad choices. Maybe you didn't eat as healthy as you wanted. Maybe you didn't exercise like you wanted to. Maybe you spent too much time on social media. Maybe you let yourself get depressed by watching the news. Maybe you were in a relationship or you had spent some time with somebody who's just pulling you down and not encouraging you, not helping to build you up. Maybe you're with one of those Debbie Downers or those negative Nancys, right? You know the type. They're out there. Trust me. And maybe you're that type right now. But I want to say, if you want to have your best week. Now, if you're having your best week ever, if you're doing great, everything's like just awesome, and you're like all fired up and you're at 100%, this message probably isn't for you. But if you're like a lot of people, myself included, I'll tell you what, I have to go into the week with the right thought, with the right mindset. Because if I don't, then you just end up really just going down that negative trail of thoughts and like, oh, I'm so angry that I thought this. I'm so disappointed in myself for the weekend. And oh, I wish I exercised and I wish I ate healthier. And here's the thing. If you can get this, I heard this message this weekend. It was awesome. Here's the thing. Let me make sure I got this right because I wrote it down. Oh, you are so much more. You are so much more than you thought you were. Let me just read that a couple of times. Let me just say that again so it gets in my head. And just so you know, my daily dose is just as much encouragement for myself than it is even for anybody else. You are so much more than you thought you were. I'm going to say this a few times. Anybody coming on, and maybe you need to hear it a few. You are so much more than you thought you were. You are so much more than you thought you were. Maybe that's even a list of affirmations that you need to put down 10 times every morning to get up in your day, is to write it down 10 times. You are so much more than you thought you were. You are so much more than you thought you were, right? Think about that for a minute. You are so much more than you thought you were. And I say so much more because what happens is we tend to let those negative thoughts get into our head. We're not good enough. We're not smart enough. We're not pretty enough. We're not strong enough. We're not healthy enough. We're not fit enough. We're not good looking enough. Right? We're not holy enough. All those types of things. And they come into our mind, and that is evil. That's the devil literally trying to get in his evil ways. And sometimes, even if they don't seem like much, those little thoughts over time, it's kind of like, I said this last week, I shared this with my kids. You hear this phrase often, show me your friends. You talk to your kids. I talk to kids all the time about this. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future, right? That's kind of how it works. Show me your thoughts. I'll show you the future of where your thoughts are going to take you. Does that make sense? So you are not, I wrote some you are nots. You are not your failed attempts. You are not your last bad choice. You are not your past mess ups. You are not your BMI. You are not your career. You are not the number you have in your bank account. You are not the bad relationship that you let yourself in. You are not the addiction to the food that maybe you've been struggling with. You are not any of those things. You are so much more than you thought you were. And here's how you can have your absolute best week ever. You can literally start this week ever. You go into waking up today on Monday and you realize today is the day that you're more than your thoughts. You are more than your thoughts. And here's what happens when you start to frame that. Because here's the deal. When you start thinking that you're not good enough and you're not smart enough and you're not skinny enough and you're not strong enough and you're not doing enough in this world and you're not this and you're not that, that's going to weight you down from actually doing the things that you were meant to be doing. The thoughts that are meant to push you forward in a positive direction of encouragement. The Daily Dose, by the way, is about encouragement And today is Monday. I wish we should just call it Fired Up Mondays. I'm so fired up for Mondays. Have I messed up in the past? Yes. Have I made bad choices? Yes, more than I care to remember. Have I screwed up in some relationships? 100%. Have I got jacked up in my money and financial in the past? Absolutely. In my career choices? 100%. I've messed up. Now, if I allowed those to get the best of me, then I would allow those thoughts to really just belittle me and to make me this significant. Here's the reality. You are not your thoughts. You are not. You are not. You are much better than your thoughts. And guess what? You're literally one light switch away from putting that mindset of having the thoughts like, okay, I know there's a lot of stuff going on in my life right now, and I know in my career and my relationships in this world, and I can choose. Again, your thoughts are your choice, right? Keep this in mind, because you're one thought away from having your best week ever. What if you were to put all your energy and emphasis and your drive this week forward in good, positive thoughts of the things that you know are going to help you get healthier, going to help you get stronger, going to help you get smarter, going to help you feel more confident, going to help you in your relationships, going to help you in managing the stress and anxiety and maybe even fear of what's going on in this world. Hey, there's no obviously doubt that there's a whole bunch of stuff that's not so favorable in this world right now. But if you let those thoughts come into your mind and saying, oh my goodness, now, hey, I know stress and anxiety and depression, I know those are real, and I'm not saying that to discount it. I'm just saying that sometimes it requires a reframe, changing your thoughts. If you can change your thoughts direct your actions. You start to think more positively about yourself and your health and your life and even your finances, even your relationships. Start to think in that direction, like, okay, do I want to stay in the negative frame of thought? Do I want to feel bad about myself? Do I want to feel like I'm not good enough? I'm not strong enough? I'm not healthy enough? I'm not skinny enough? I'm not sexy enough? I'm not rich enough? I'm not this? I'm not that? Those are thoughts that are going to take you out. They're going to be your destruction. And I can tell you, if they haven't already, then they are on their way, because it's kind of like, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Well, I'm going to say this, show me your thoughts, and I'm going to show you the future, where your thoughts are going to take you. Unfortunately, not too favorable from the things I just shared with that. So here's what I want you to understand. Whether you have faith or not, here's what's getting me through. Here's what I know for a fact. You are a son and you are a daughter of God. That's it. If you get that starting point today on Monday, you are a son and a daughter of God. He created you, just one of you, just one. He just created one of you. Do you think he created you to go through life having negative thoughts about yourself and negative thoughts about other people and negative thoughts about today and tomorrow and the next week and the next year? Do you think that's how he created you to be? No, those are real emotions, right? That's not, he created you in his image. Now, we're not perfect, but he created you in the image of him. Like, I think he loves us enough, if he's going to create out of any other species anywhere in this world, in this planet galaxy, he created us in the image of him. So you are not only a son and daughter of God, son and or daughter of God, you are so valuable. So if you just put that thought up here, first thing, if you can put that thought in your mind today, if you can put that thought in your mind, it's like, okay, I'm messed up, I made bad choices, I'm making bad decisions right now, I'm probably going to screw up some of the things that I say and some of the things that I do. But if you can go into your day and maybe even writing that down 10 times every single morning, or maybe every time you have those negative thoughts, you write it down on a piece of paper, like I used to have to do in school when I get in trouble. I will not talk, I will not speak out in class, right? That was me. I will not disrupt other students in class. I had to write those over and over and over. Well, again, what was it? So I was a reminder. The teachers in school gave me as a reminder. It helped to build that up. Now, it was to not do bad in class and not to disrupt class. But for you, maybe it's in the same positive affirmation is I am a child of God. I am a son of God. I am a child of God. Write that down. I am so much more than I thought I was. I am so much more. Can you imagine if you actually started to instill those values right now, instead of like complaining about what this person said, or about what this side said, or about how this person's going to vote, or about how this is so not wrong in the world, and how I can't believe you think that way, and how I can't believe you're not doing this, and how are you not protesting, and how come you're protesting and that. Can you imagine if we spent, I would say, even a tenth of the time, realizing that you are much more than your thoughts, a tenth of the time thinking that you are a son or daughter of God, and that you are made on purpose, with a purpose not to just go through a mediocre life, doing mediocre things, saying mediocre stuff, having mediocre opinions about life. Like, seriously, it is Monday. Let's get fired up. It's a Motivation Monday. I'm fired up. Listen, I don't have all the answers. I'm not all high and mighty. I screw up all the time. I mess up all across the board. I mess up in my bad choices. I mess up in my fitness, believe it or not, and even my career choices. Sometimes I messed up. I mess up in my financial bank account. I messed that up in past. I messed up in relationships. I messed up in things that I think are going to fill me, and they end up literally just making me more and more empty. Again, here's what happens. You put negative thoughts that end up being empty thoughts. You start filling your mindset with these negative thoughts. It's going to be just emptiness. It's going to leave you empty. And what are you going to do? You're going to try to chase after more and more of that, and you're going to realize that it's going to just be more and more empty thoughts. But here's the deal. Here's the difference is you can go through this world today, starting today, realizing two things: that you are so much more than you thought you were, and that you are a son or a daughter of God. Can you imagine that? Listen, I'm not trying to, spread my religion. And honestly, here's the thing. It's called faith for a reason. I can't see what tomorrow is going to bring. I can't see what my thoughts are going to maybe even try to occupy my mind tomorrow. But I have faith in God. If I can lean on Him, literally lean completely on Him to direct my path. I know when I lean on Him, He tends to put those good thoughts into my mind so that I can have the best week ever. Again, you're one thought away from your best week ever. One thought away. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's just that light switch you need to go on to realize, and you know what, Mark, you're right. I don't really understand this whole faith thing, or, God, or being on here and that. But what I've been dealing with and how I've been dealing, it hasn't really been going so favorable. Maybe you're that one light switch, that one thought away from realizing that you are so much more than you thought you were, because you are a son or daughter of God. Can you imagine that? Coming into my faith, I realized life was pretty good. I was, on my own path. And listen, if you've been on your own path for a while and you're just like, hey, I earned this, I've done this, I've worked hard, I've had this career, I'm going to retire at this time, I have this money, I have the kids, and I have the home, and I have the finances, and I have the success. And again, that's your identity. And guess what happened to a lot of people 5 months ago is their identity got completely ripped away because it was relying on the things of the world, not on who created this world, right? So as I'm sweating here, and it's Monday, I hope that this message maybe lit a fire under your ass. I hope it did. Maybe this could be the week, instead of going down that dark path of letting other people's influences and thoughts and actions of what they say or what they post or, all this stuff get the best of you. You're one thought away from having your best week ever. And you know what? Me too. And here's the thing. You can't just have one good thought or one positive thought. It has to be a daily, ongoing occurrence. It's kind of like, you can't just, if you're trying to lose weight, you can't just lose 25 pounds and be like, oh, I'm done. I don't have to eat healthy, and I don't have to exercise anymore. I did it. I lost the weight. I lost 25 pounds. That's it. I'm good to go for the rest of my life. That's honestly not how it works. And neither is with your thoughts. You have to continually, you're going to pay attention to the things that matter to you most. If the negative thoughts and the negative comments and the negative news and the negative Nancys and the negative Nellies and the Debbie Downers, if those are the ones you're attracted to, and those are the people that you're focusing your attention on, guess what? There go your thoughts towards the things of the world, the things that are going to really not end up favorable. Call it what it is. Have a beautiful, blessed week. And remember this, you are so much more than you thought you were. Take care and God bless.